Good evening and welcome to today's budget hearing for the proposed 25-26 city trial budget. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our interpreter, Mario Barajas, for today's hearing. Mario?
Thank you, Inger. Good afternoon. My name is Mario Barajas. I'm going to be serving as one of the two interpreters along with my colleague, Elsie Duarte. Now I'll take a moment to introduce ourselves to our Spanish-speaking audience and review a couple of guidelines for them. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Mario Barajas y voy a estar sirviendo como intérprete junto con mi colega Elsie Duarte. Quisiéramos repasar un par de puntos con ustedes. Primeramente, si es que van a estar dando un comentario aquí en público, no es necesario ya hacer pausas, pueden hacer su comentario por 2 minutos completos sin tener que hacer pausa. Después el intérprete les puede interpretar en su totalidad lo que hayan dicho. Segundo, si acaso van a necesitar el equipo para la interpretación, pueden acudir allá atrás con mi colega Elsie Duarte. Ella les puede facilitar los auriculares para poder escuchar la interpretación. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Inger.
Thank you, Mario. I'd like to now invite Councilwoman Deborah Stark to say a few words and then followed by Councilman Waring.
Thank you, and thank you for all of you being here tonight. These hearings really are most important to us. It helps us shape our budget for the coming year. I will tell you, last year, I think, Jim, at one of our hearings, we had several members from the cricket leagues in the city come, and they advocated strongly for cricket, and now we have a cricket field. So it does pay to come to these hearings. Your voice does matter. So I thank you all for being here. Jim?
Thank you, Deb. You stole my cricket example, so I wasn't happy about that, but all right. She's not wrong, though. Kidding aside, it's great to see everybody here. But please keep in mind that 1.7 million of your fellow Phoenicians chose not to be at this meeting tonight. Thank goodness we wouldn't have a big enough room. But, please remember that gives you a kind of a disproportionate voice. So please avail yourself of it tonight, and we're looking forward to having what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So the feedback we received today is important and for the city to consider as we finalize the proposed budget. We want your input to be heard and considered before the budget is presented to the City Council. The proposed budget will be presented to the City Council on May 6th and voted on May 21st. Information on the proposed budget is available in the tabloid at the main table, and it's available in English and Spanish. Please visit our website if you'd like more information at phoenix.gov/budget. If you do wish to speak today, please fill out the comment card. If you wish to leave a comment but not speak, you can fill out the comment card and say no to the speaking portion of it. Now we'll play a short video on the proposed trial budget, and immediately following the video, we'll move to speaker comments. So at this time, we'll start the video.
The city of Phoenix thrives because of the services we all rely on, from keeping our neighborhoods safe to offering enriching programs and maintaining vital infrastructure. And like any well-run household, planning for the future starts with the budget. Right now, the city of Phoenix is developing its budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, a roadmap of how we'll allocate resources to best serve our community. This isn't a process that happens overnight. Throughout the year, city departments work hard to estimate the costs of maintaining the services we currently enjoy. Then in March, the city manager proposes a preliminary budget, a trial budget, that carefully balances estimated resources with projected expenses. This important document is now ready for everyone to look at. Your voice matters. In April, the city actively seeks your input through community budget hearings, by phone, email, and even on social media. This feedback is crucial to ensuring the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and the City Council. Then in May, the City Council will carefully consider all this input before voting on the budget, with legal adoption scheduled in June. Finally, the property tax levy ordinance will be adopted in early July. To understand the budget, it's helpful to know how it's structured. Think of it as 3 main accounts: The general fund is like our main checking account. It supports many of the core services you see every day: our libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and critical police and fire services. This fund is made up of revenue from things like general sales tax, property taxes, and a portion of state income, sales, and vehicle taxes, as well as some fines and fees. Then there are enterprise funds. These operate more like businesses, charging those who directly use their services. This includes departments like Water Services, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and Solid Waste. Finally, special revenue funds are like accounts with specific instructions. These funds are earmarked for particular purposes, often coming from grants or voter-approved sales taxes dedicated to things like parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. Now let's talk about the current budget situation. Like many cities, Phoenix is facing some financial headwinds. Over the next few years, we're looking at potential structural deficits, primarily due to actions taken at the state level and rising costs. Recently, the state eliminated the ability for cities to collect residential rental sales tax, and they also lowered the individual income tax rate. These changes mean less ongoing revenue coming into the city. But this is where careful planning and proactive measures come in. Our city staff and leadership have been working diligently to find solutions to ensure we maintain a balanced budget as required by state law and to ensure the city can continue to deliver to residents existing services without cutting programs or filled jobs to balance the budget. To make sure the budget can stay balanced, offset the losses from state actions to reduce our revenues, provide the necessary resources to protect current programs, and provide the funds necessary for critical adds to the budget, several strategies are included in this trial budget. The City Council voted on March 18th to increase the transaction privilege tax rate from 2.3% to 2.8% effective July 1st, 2025. This will generate revenue to pay for programs and services. Reprioritize the current general fund budget to reduce expenditures without impacting service delivery or filled jobs, and provide capacity to add higher priority items. Set aside projected resources to help balance future budgets and protect against any economic slowdown or further impacts from the state to limit local control and further reduce our revenues. Use excise tax proceeds to finance large public safety capital and infrastructure projects, including 2 new fire stations and additional apparatus. Now let's talk about what this budget means for some key services. For the Phoenix Fire Department, there's a proposal for additional funding to reduce emergency response times. This includes hiring more firefighters to staff existing and new fire stations and new apparatus. Addressing homelessness remains a critical priority. The proposed budget includes revised estimates of $4.5 million in general fund resources for the Office of Homeless Solutions in 2025-26. This funding is needed because some of the federal pandemic-era funding is ending. This money will help continue shelter operations at places like Rio Fresco, the Phoenix Navigation Center, and the Washington Shelter, as well as support heat relief efforts for our unsheltered neighbors. Looking ahead, the budget also proposes a $5.6 million addition to the non-general fund budget for the Water Services Department. This would fund the reopening of the Cave Creek Water Reclamation Plant, allowing the city to expand its capacity for wastewater treatment and water purification, ensuring we can meet future needs. These are thoughtful strategies aimed at addressing the financial challenges while protecting the vital services that make Phoenix a great place to live, work, and visit. Our city employees, from our dedicated first responders to the professionals managing our parks and libraries, are deeply committed to serving this community and always have your best interests at heart. They work hard every day to ensure Phoenix remains a vibrant and thriving city. We understand that discussing budget figures can sometimes feel overwhelming. But know that the City of Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting. By engaging in this process together, With your input and the careful work that we will continue to deliver the essential services you expect and deserve, building a stronger Phoenix for tomorrow.
Very good. Well, next we will move on to the comments from the speakers. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. There's a clock here that'll keep track of your time. We do ask that you come here to the microphone as we are recording this on YouTube. Also, if you do need Spanish translation, we do have that available as well. We do have 4 speakers, and we have 6 additional cards who did not want to speak. The first individual is Chris Murphy.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Chris Murphy. I am a Phoenix resident, and for the last 32 years, I have served the citizens of Phoenix as a Phoenix firefighter. I spent 15 years between Station 52 at Tatum and Deer Valley and Station 31 at 56th Street and Thunderbird. During that time, the population of Phoenix and the calls for service have exploded. Unfortunately, we have not been able to keep pace with this growth, and as a result, 71% of our trucks are running at critical activity levels of over 3,000 calls per year. And response times have ballooned to nearly 9 minutes, which puts lives at risk. Part of the blame lies with state lawmakers who have intentionally reduced the city's ability to fund necessary services. However, there is also another problem. For the past few years, Councilman Waring has pointed out at council meetings and at public safety and justice meetings that, quote, my district pays the most amount of money in taxes, but we have the worst response times. At a public safety and justice meeting last year when the fire department was trying to bolster its ambulance service and recruiting of new firefighters, a chart was presented that showed the decline in applicants for firefighter, and an explanation was given that due to the extreme workload and trying to run more calls with insufficient resources, that applicants were simply choosing to work for other cities. His response was, quote, if this was a stock, it's a loser. If this was a business, you would be going bankrupt. So he was keenly aware of the needs for more fire stations, more fire trucks, and more firefighters, especially in his district. But when it came time to actually do something about the problem, he was the only council person to vote no. When it came time to help protect his constituents, he voted no. When it came time to demonstrate that public safety was a priority, he voted no. But luckily for the citizens of District 2, the rest of the council, including Councilwoman Stark, thank you, voted to approve the TPT. The fire department is here to protect the public, and we don't say no when you call for help. In your area, the fire department has already added 2 full-time ambulances, and another new fire station at 56th Street and Mayo is also planned for the proposed excise tax. Since Councilman Waring is termed out, there are no career repercussions for him. However, in the future, I hope the good citizens of District 2 will choose someone who will show true leadership when hard decisions have to be made, rather than someone who doesn't bother to even attend council meetings in person.
Your 2 minutes are up. Thank you.
Tim Kenobi, you are next.
Thank you for having me. My name is Tim Kenobi. I'm a resident of District 3. I also work at Fire Station 27 down the street on 32nd Street in Cactus. First, I want to say thank you to the council who voted to support the TPT sales tax increase last month. It takes a lot of courage to show their commitment to their community. One of their first responsibilities as elected officials is to protect their community, keep them safe. So thank you for their commitment to fire and public safety on increasing this tax. My counterpart just mentioned response times. I know it firsthand in this neighborhood at Fire Station 27, one of the busiest fire trucks in the city. We consistently hear other calls for medical emergencies and fire emergencies kick out when we're helping somebody else. And what that means is an extended response time. So although City Council has committed right now to adding resources, we want to continue to talk to people until these response times come down. So we urge you, please, to adopt this budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Bill Scheel.
Thank you, Councilwoman Stark and Councilman Waring. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak here tonight. My name is Bill Scheel, and I've come up north. I live and represent the Roosevelt neighborhood downtown, which straddles Hance Park near downtown Phoenix. This is really a regional park, so it's used by people from all over the city and the region. It hosts important events like Super Bowl, Final Four. It's important for our economic development. It's got all the cultural facilities like Irish Cultural Center, Jewish Historical Society, Japanese Friendship Garden, the public Burton Bar Public Library, the Art Museum, and Phoenix Theater are within 2 blocks. So it really is the cultural center of the city. But we have a chronic and ongoing crisis of crime, drug use, and vagrancy at the park, which then spills into the surrounding neighborhood. For instance, one morning last week, we counted 57 individuals who were using the park as their daytime living space. And so even our downtown tourism professionals can no longer recommend that our out-of-town visitors visit Hance Park because of the deteriorating conditions there. So we're asking for 2 specific things. First, a dedicated park ranger for Hance Park. Currently, all we get is episodic drop-bys, which mean the rangers can't keep eyes on consistent violators. The ranger shows up, tells people to move, they move, and then an hour later they're causing a problem somewhere else, and the cycle repeats itself. And then secondly, and relatedly, we need more consistent and aggressive enforcement of those existing park rules to keep the park safe and inviting. So we need dedicated staff, and we strongly support the homeless funding that is included in the budget as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our final speaker today is Ann Ender. And again, I'll note that there are 6 cards relating to fire services that were put in but indicated no need to speak.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. My name's Ann Ender. I live in District 6, and I'm the president of Operation Blue Ribbon. We are a group that puts public safety first. We advocate for public safety. We do a lot of work with the police department, and I'm here tonight to thank the council for approving the TPT sales tax, but I'm also here to plead that that money be earmarked directly to the fire department. As you've heard, and I'm really proud to have this yellow shirt, so thanks, guys. And as you've heard, they've been in a crisis for over 15 years. Our response times aren't going to get better until we have more people, and we have more stations, and we have the equipment. So I'm just asking that you would please prioritize this. It was an honor to serve on the Public Safety Subcommittee for the GEO Bond. And I took it seriously, and I did a lot of research. I visited the stations, I visited precincts, and I saw a lot of old construction that put these people at risk. And we know we've just got to take care of them because these are the people that have the heart to serve us and that respond when we need them. So thank you.
Thank you. And now I'll turn it back over to the council members for final comments.
I want to thank everyone for attending. As you know, we have a series of these hearings throughout the city, and while we can't attend them all, for example, 2 weeks ago we had a community-wide hearing, but I had the big Soap Fest, so I was in Sunny Soap. We do get briefed on each and every one of these hearings. The staff compiles the information, so if you didn't speak here today, but you have spoken at others, I'm sure I've heard some of the comments. So thank you again for attending. I thank staff for being here. There's a lot of staff here, so I appreciate you guys coming out. Jim?
Thanks very much for coming, and she's right. They compile the list, and they give us the list. So we do see everybody's comments from all across the city. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you again, and that concludes the hearing for tonight.